ENCOR Section 29, Cisco SD-WAN. Match the Cisco SD-WAN component with the fabric plane to which it belongs. All right, Cisco WAN Edge, Cisco vBond, vManage, vSmart. So these are our controller components, and WAN Edge is the routers. So vManage belongs to the management plane. Cisco vSmart is actually the brain of the whole system, so it belongs to the control plane. vBond is responsible for orchestration and particularly onboarding new devices like new edge routers. And finally, the WAN Edge performs the data plane functions by forwarding traffic. So that should be like that. Which statement best describes the Cisco SD-WAN solution? Cisco SD-WAN is a hardware-based solution that covers switching, routing, voice, and VPN for small to medium-sized businesses. This is not correct. It's more enterprise and larger size, and it covers like switching, routing, I think, yeah, primarily routing, I guess, and VPN needs. The Cisco SD-WAN solution is a software-based virtual IP fabric overlay network that builds a secure, unified connectivity over any transport network, the underlay. That sounds to me like the proper definition of Cisco SD-WAN. But let's check others. The Cisco SD-WAN solution is a software-based virtual IP fabric overlay network relying on Lisp and VXLAN for both wired and wireless LAN. So this is a proper definition for Cisco SD access, right? So which is actually the previous section in the course. The Cisco SD-WAN solution allows service providers to accelerate WAN services directly for enterprise customers. Probably not really. Accelerate WAN services directly for enterprise customers. No, the SD-WAN works more from the enterprise side, and doesn't necessarily require any specific support or acceleration from the provider side. So option 2 is the best here. Which two Cisco SD-WAN components operate in the management plane? So definitely Cisco vManage is one component for that. And then I think Cisco vAnalytics. I think vAnalytics is an optional component which can be additionally enabled, and it's basically a cloud-based analytics engine for visibility, for forecasting, for maybe trying what-if scenarios, and possibly may provide some recommendations. Yeah, so vManage and vAnalytics sounds good. And WAN edge routers are basically the routers which are the edge part, the edge part of the whole overlay network. Cisco controllers, not sure what that means, but the actual control plane controllers are called vSmart. Maybe that's what it is meant here. And Cisco vBond is the orchestrator. All right. Which three options are characteristics of the Cisco vBond orchestration plane? All right. First, point of authentication. Yeah, that sounds right, I think. And because it helps, vBond helps to basically onboard and enroll new edge devices, WAN edge routers into the network. Authorizes all control connections. Probably not. Real-time alerting, probably not. Again, just logically thinking, it's not about monitoring anything and alerting if something happens. It's more about the initial onboarding. It distributes a list of Cisco vSmart controllers to all Cisco WAN edge routers. That looks like definitely as a part of an onboarding process. And it facilitates fabric discovery. Okay, maybe. Distributes a list of Cisco managed routers to all Cisco smart controllers. Oh, okay. So it looks like this one and this one are mutually exclusive. So distributes a list of Cisco smart controllers to the routers or the other way around. I think this one is correct, right? Because uh, the controllers, vSmarts, they are already there, right? When a new edge router is being connected, and basically the what vBond does, it provides this list of available, list of existing controllers to this newly onboarded router. So I guess that makes sense, right? And then facilitates fabric discovery is also the correct option because, yeah, that's basically the definition, right? What it does. vBond helps to onboard new routers and help them to discover the fabric. Which Cisco SD-WAN component has programmatic interfaces to enable DevOps operations and to also extract performance statistics collected from the entire fabric? That must be the vManage, right? Because vManage does all that. Again, vBond is for orchestration. Edge routers are just the routers at the edge, and vSmart controllers implement control plane. So all the external data communications, programmable interfaces, that has to happen through the management plane, and this is what Cisco vManage does. So far, to me, it seems like all questions here have been so far just about what each component does. Which three routing protocols can the Cisco WAN Edge router use for learning reachability information from the service side interfaces? All right, so yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward here. I'm going to check them right away. Three options here. So Edge router learns the reachability information from the service side interface. So first of all, service side interface is the edge router interface, which is pointed to the consumer, to the customer, right? Customer may have different IP networks on their side, different prefixes, which need to be learned by the edge router, and this information has to be provided to the fabric, right, through to the vSmart over the OMP protocol. But from the service side, just jumping back here, I think the course mentioned that redistribution can be done from like normally routing protocols as well as connected networks and static routes. Not sure why ISIS and RIP are excluded from here, but RIP version 1 doesn't make any sense at all because it doesn't support classless routing. It's super old protocol and currently dead. And ISIS, not sure why ISIS is not an option, but it just looks like an outlier here. So I'll go with BGP, OSPF, and EIGRP. Which Cisco SD-WAN component displays application performance for the last 24 hours with the VQOE of 0 to 10, with 0 as the worst performance and 10 is the best. So this is Cisco vAnalytics. vAnalytics is the additional component, which, as I understand, works kind of in conjunction with vManage, with the management plane, and it provides this rich analytics, and it collects performance and analyzes performance, probably does some forecasting based on the 24 hours period. And VQOE, I don't think I've seen this acronym in the course itself, but that should stand for V, because everything is in SD-WAN starts with V. And QoE stands for quality of experience, right? So I understand it's, as opposed to quality of service, it's more perceived quality by the user, right? Somehow measured. Yeah, so it's possibly less subjective and more subjective. And there's some scoring associated with it from 0 to 10. Anyway, so all this happens on vAnalytics. Okay, there is one mistake I'm going to review in my pack. All right, the error was in question number 4, and my answer was for the Cisco vBond orchestration plane. What are characteristics of it? First point of authentication, this is the correct option, distributes the list of Cisco vSmart controllers to edge routers. This was also correct. What I answered initially was facilitates fabric discovery, and this is not the correct option. What actually does that is vSmart controller, and yeah, it depends on how you read it, how you understand it, I guess. So vSmart actually facilitates fabric discovery, right? So it enables fabric to grow and to kind of span across all the network through running the OMP protocol and have vSmart controllers talking with each other and also talking with other components, right? And instead of this option, the correct option is authorizes all control connections, which is clearly related to the first option here, because once a new edge router is onboarded, it is authenticated through vBond, and also its control connection is authorized by vBond as well. So this is the correct response to this question.